over what I like to use for hybrids, my favorite setup, tell you why I like the hooks I like, which is Gamakatsu octopus hook. I'm gonna show you what I like to use for white bass, hybrids, and stripers. My favorite rig for all three species. And I've got all this different gear, jerk baits. I've got ducks. I've got spoons. I've got jigs. I've got it all. But I'm gonna tell you, the things that I have the fewest of are my favorites. This right here, Blue Fox Rooster Tail, cheap. Now, what I like to do is I use a 20 to 25 pound fluorocarbon leader and go ahead and just get you about 5 feet of that, 4 feet of that. And what I'm gonna do, my rooster tail, and I'm tied on here. Okay, we're going hybrid fishing this weekend. I'm gonna show you the rig that we're gonna kill them on. Okay, and I'll show you my fisherman's knot too. I don't use the Palmer knot just because I've had good luck with this knot and it doesn't ever break at the knot. So I just put it over your pinch between two fingers. It's kind of like the fisherman's knot, but it's a little bit different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like my knot stacked up really tall. Lube it up a little bit. Bite the tag in. It cinches that knot down. Cinches it down and then just down to where it belongs at, okay? We're gonna clip and got me a hook in my finger this morning. Now, what we're gonna do from here, this is the interesting part. This is where it gets good. And take this leader and we're gonna come up. And you wanna use a heavier line. That's why I use this 25 pound test, 25 to 20 pound test. The reason for that is because you're gonna be tying a bunch of. Everybody knows fluorocarbon ain't known the best for that. So I tried a dropper loop in there. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie it again, but over just the top piece. And then I'm gonna pull it tight. Make sure it's only over the top part. Now, dropper loop is locked in. Now you're gonna come up here and you're gonna cut. Boom, now you got a 3-way rig. Now I usually use white curly tail grubs, but my daughter bought me these off of TikTok shop a month or 2 ago. She bought me 3 different colors of these. Actually, I'll show you what she bought me. I'm kind of proud of it. She bought me these little blue swim baits. And I don't have no TikTok shop, nothing. I ain't linking nothing. Just type in cheap plastic baits. I'm sure they'll pop up. I don't really know. She bought them for me. Anyways, I got this green ones, these silver ones, bag of the color here. Anyway, she got me this little bag. Little ones. There's like a box with 5 different kinds in there, or 4 different kinds. Little bitty ones. What we're gonna run, and if you've seen my videos or seen some hybrids and stripers, this is my favorite rig. Simple. Rooster tail, dropper loop, cut the loop, put you a jig on there. Okay? And now the reason that this is my favorite is because you've heard that saying that action draws action. Well, you don't necessarily have to be catching a fish to cause action, but that action will draw action. But, okay, so you've seen little minnows like jumping on the surface of the water. That's because fish are chasing those little fish, those little minnows. Okay, so that causes them to bust the surface. Now, what I like to do is I need to shorten up that leash a little, that loop, that that leader a little bit. But when I pull this through the water, okay, this rooster will look like it is chasing this little shad, okay? And I've caught 2 at a time. People told me there's a certain river. People have told me, they said, you will never catch your limit of stripers out here. You'll catch a couple stripers, but you'll never catch your limit unless you have a boat. And so I kind of took that as a challenge. And right before it goes down, if you're in the right spot at the cup, on the Arkansas River system, you'll catch your limit of stripers in about. And I've used this rig right here, and sometimes I catch them 2 at a time on this rig right here. This will catch white bass, hybrids, and stripers. This rig right here is a catch-them-all setup. Now, if you catch a big striper, that's the reason I run this 25-pound test, and that's 30-pound test braid on for my main line, is because if you catch a big striper, and more often than not, you will, if you're in the right spot, this will catch you doubles, white bass, hybrids, and stripers. Again, and I just cast it out there. I count to 5, okay? When I'm fishing with just the rooster tail, I count to 10. That's where I start at. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, all the way to 10. And I'll do that in my head, and I'll start there, and then I'll go 7, and 5, and then 4, because they'll be in different depths of the water column, and then I'll retrieve it slow. This tandem rig, it sinks twice as fast, so it's like 5, 3, and 2 seconds. You'll get to about 10 foot. Anyway, this is that money rig right here. It's white bass season. It's coming up quick. Everybody's going to be out there hitting the banks, and I want everybody to be happy catching the white bass and the hybrids like I do. This weekend, I'm going to be that damn fishing guy's service to my girls. Little Carly Worley, she asked me if I had fishing poles for her and her friends, and she's kind of a diva, guys. But she wants to go fishing. She wants to go fishing with her friends, and so instead of going catfishing this weekend, I'm taking the girls hybrid fishing. That's what we're gonna do.
And I'm coming too.
Yeah, you're coming too, baby girl. And anyways, that's the money rig right there. Go get you some Blue Fox rooster tail. You don't even have to get this style. Let me run off the camera real quick. Style right here, that's like it's just a round cylindrical lead painted. I don't prefer yellow. That's why it's hanging up on the net over there on the wall in the corner. You can get whatever style of rooster tail you want. I prefer, this is the, and I prefer them when I'm fishing for hybrids and stuff, because this treble hook's a little bit stouter. And you can split it with a pair of dikes, and you can go to Bass Pro, tinsel and stuff already in them, and they're upgraded hooks. And you put a split ring back on here. This stainless wire will hold. It'll get bent out of shape 100 times, and you'll have to bend it back straight just to get it to run right. But it'll for a right out of the box, simple. I barely ever have to tune them. Fox rooster tails, they are my favorite. And I say that, and then I'm gonna have to tune this one up. But more. Let's see if I can get it to spin. Yeah, it's gonna have to be tuned up. It doesn't want to spin at all. I got a pair of pliers. I'll tell you what I mean. And this jig right here is optional. You can put grubs, you can put hair jigs, you can put whatever your favorite thing is to run on. Action draws action. So if you got a little fish chasing a smaller fish, pinch that in just a little bit. If you pinch it in too far, you'll cause a kink. Oh yeah, that's gonna be money. Okay. Then I'll show you what system I like to run, or what style of rod and reel. Crappie rod with a 10-pound test braided fishing line on it. I think this is 30-pound test braided line. Here's reel or pin wrath, size 4,000. And it ain't spooled up full with braid. It's just got about probably 150 yards of braid on there. And I'll pull the and then I'll reel it back up on there. I'll just flip it around a couple times and keep using this braid for probably a couple of years. Anyways, because when you tie on it like this, unless you get snagged at the swivel, this is where you're going to break off every time. You're going to break one of these jigs off. Okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to tie it to this swivel. And you want the swivel. The swivel is important. It's not just important if you're fishing this same rig on your monofilament line and you were running 12-pound test and you were running this rooster tail and this dropper loop with this little minnow, curly tail grubber hair jig, you'd still want to run a swivel. Because like I was saying, more often than not, I catch, or very often anyways, I catch 2 hybrids or 2 stripers or 2 white bass at the same time. And I've actually caught 2 stripers, and I felt like I don't really know how to explain what it felt like. But heck, they was down there fighting each other, and I was just dragging them through the water while they was fighting each other. And they swimming in circles and stuff. You want that swivel on there. They'll twist in your line and pop it quick. I was fishing light gear when I did that too. I didn't know what the heck I felt no fish fight like that before. But they was down there fighting each other. All those stripes, they all school up. And so if you have 2 baits and you run across one, more than likely you'll run across 2. And sometimes I'll let him, if I hook one, I'll let him swim around, and his buddies that are following him will see that other bait. They'll be trying to take this rooster tail out of his mouth. But they'll come and they'll snatch that other bait, and I'll catch 2 at a time, and that's how you do it. You don't just horse them and reel them in as fast as you can. If you got a good hook set and you could see that from at some point, or they've been choking it, don't horse him. Just let him swim around out there if you're not near a bunch of snags and stuff. And you'll get more double ups that way. They swim in schools. That's what people. And anyway, I just really want you guys to try this out. And somebody comment back on here if you try it out. I know 3 or 4 of you watched it. 3 of you are watching it right now. If you go out and try it out and you like it, you just let me know. Hey, try it in your freaking fishing ponds too. Like, you know, if you're fishing in ponds and stuff, the largemouth bass near the spawn, before they spawn, those 1 to 2 pound range bass, 1.5 pound